The big question on the minds of many who analyze world politics is the following. Will the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia, Mohammed bin Salman Al Saud, survive the Jamal Khashoggi scandal? What will be the political impact on Saudi Arabia? Now, of course, everything revolves around the Crown Prince. Many people call him MBS. Now, to be able to get the correct answer to that question, you would need an expert in world politics. You'd also need somebody who is an expert in Saudi Arabian politics, somebody who understands it very, very intimately. In my view, if that expert is a former director of the CIA, the Central Intelligence Agency, then I would vouch for them. And I would vouch for whatever view they have as being the most likely to unfold. Now, John Brennan is a former director of the CIA. In fact, he's been with the CIA for over 25 years. And he was the 5th director of the CIA. He was actually appointed by Obama, President Barack Obama, and served between March 2013 to January 2017. In a recent TV interview, the former director of the CIA made some very interesting observations, and predicted exactly how he thinks this is going to play out. Now, John Brennan believes that the Saudis will have no other option, but to get rid of MBS. Even before the investigations is fully complete, there is too much evidence, pointing to him being directly involved in the very gruesome murder, assassination of the journalist, Bwana Jamal Khashoggi. Mr. Brennan says that all the signs are there that Congress is not going to allow MBS to get away with this, irrespective of what President Donald Trump is trying to push. Politically, it will be impossible. The long and short of what the former CIA director said is that this, indeed, is the downfall of MBS. As we say in Kenya, mambo kwisha. That's the end of his political career. Because, according to Mr. Brennan, this was a U.S. person, a resident of the U.S., working for the Washington Post. It is highly unlikely that politically the American public, no matter how powerful the president is, no matter how powerful other individuals who would want to see things go different, it doesn't matter. It would be politically impossible, for American voters, the American public, to allow MBS to get away with such a gory, brutal crime. This would seem to confirm an earlier video I made, and where I said something similar. In case you missed that video, you can catch it right now by clicking on the image link on the top right hand corner of your screens right now. It is very fascinating how there are so many similarities between the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia and, closer to home, Tanzanian dictator John Pombe Magufuli. Let me detail to you exactly what I mean. In the last 4 years, Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman has portrayed himself as a reformer. He has opened the country to concerts, wrestling, movies, etc., etc. He has allowed women to drive, something which has given him a lot of very positive publicity worldwide. I mean, even the American president, Donald Trump, has hailed him at the UN as a true reformer in Saudi Arabia. However, to the close observer, the patterns and the small signs here and there have been clear that actually this man is not a reformer, but a brutal dictator who has succeeded big time in fooling any casual observer of the situation in Saudi Arabia. Still, for many, they have not been able to shake away that image from their minds that this is the crown prince who has made it possible for women to drive in Saudi Arabia for the first time ever. However, that mirage was very suddenly and brutally shattered by what happened in Istanbul, Turkey, with the gruesome murder of journalist Jamal Khashoggi, which has been directly linked to the crown prince. Former CIA director John Brennan, in a TV interview recently, and this is an expert if you're looking for one, because as former CIA director, what does he not know, especially about Saudi Arabia, a key ally of the US? Now, according to this former CIA director, there is no way, there is no way the crown prince would not have been aware and indeed very deeply involved in the assassination of Khashoggi right inside the Saudi consulate in Istanbul, Turkey. Well, apart from the expert, this former CIA director, the world also looks at it in exactly the same way, even though investigations are not complete. Now, John Pombe Magufuli, the Tanzanian president, came into power in exactly the same manner. He has been the darling of many with his zero tolerance to corruption. On the surface of things, there have been a lot of developments and reforms and changes in Tanzania, positive changes. But just like the crown prince, that mirage was brutally and violently shattered with the kidnapping ordeal of the youngest billionaire in Africa, Mo Dewji, who is also a Tanzanian. All the evidence points to the government being very, very involved. Unlike in the crown prince's case, there's no investigation going on. However, in the Magufuli case, it is very, very obvious. And you can catch up with my previous videos and you'll be able to see that very clearly. Now, there's another similarity between the two cases, that is very revealing. According to former CIA director John Brennan, the problem with MBS is that he is drunk with power. He has managed to neutralize any challenges to his power from within the royal family. He has jailed activists and he has silenced the press. Indeed, it is the silencing of the press that forced Jamal Khashoggi into exile. He left his home country and was living in the United States at the time of his very unfortunate murder. In Turkey, Istanbul, in a very similar manner, John Pombe Magufuli has managed to neutralize all opposition to his draconian and dictatorial ways in Tanzania. Journalists have disappeared without trace. Activists have also disappeared without trace. And there's even at least one journalist in exile, Anspat Gurumo, who had to flee the country for his own safety, and continues to write about the dire situation in the country, from his hideout, somewhere amongst the Nordic countries. And the conclusion about Magufuli is precisely the same as that the former CIA director made on the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia. Magufuli is drunk with power. And when people become drunk with power, they're reckless. They don't care. There's impunity. Hence, the very crazy murder of Jamal Khashoggi. And hence, in Tanzania, the very crazy kidnapping of young billionaire Mo Dewji. What? It is just fascinating, the many similarities between these two people. These two evil leaders. Just to give another example, one accusation against MBS in Saudi Arabia is that he shakes down his own subjects for their wealth. Now, it is widely believed, very widely believed, and there's plenty of evidence to suggest it, that this was the exact motive behind the kidnapping of Mo Dewji, billionaire Mo Dewji. The government has been putting pressure on the Dewji family to surrender prime land, where they want to build a huge hydroelectric plant, for generating electricity. And even for those who still don't see the similarity, I can bet you, that there are no Tanzanian journalists in exile currently who would ever dream, for whatever reason, of going inside the Tanzanian consulate or embassy or high commission anywhere in the world. Not after what happened to Jamal Khashoggi. Bottom line, evil dictators who are drunk with power behave precisely the same. There's no difference. And it doesn't matter whether they're in Africa or whether they're in Asia or Europe, Eastern Europe or wherever. They all behave precisely the same. Initially hailed as reformers, great reformers, only for the mirage to come tumbling down, shattered, sooner rather than later. Until next time, this is Kshs, Kumekucha.